In Module 4, we're going to look at Innovation Step 2. Step 2 of the model, we're going to go deeper to really explore the idea of understanding people. So if we recap, what do we mean by understanding people? What we want to do is define what people need to be able to solve a problem that's meaningful for them, and to gather inspiration by interacting with actual users, human beings that are going to be using your products. Sometimes we call these beneficiaries of an innovation. But really what you want to do is come up with a plan to be able to understand and uncover unmet needs that people have. We're going to be using human-centered design. It is a method of problem solving that can drive innovation, and its core premise is that a novel and effective solution to a problem is really rooted in understanding the needs of people. Here you see an older adult, who might have a basic human need of finding food, of nourishment. That's a basic instrumental human need. Another need might be socializing, connecting with other people. So when we're thinking about needs, think about that idea of a need in the broadest way you possibly can. There are really well-known methods in human-centered design to understand people that borrow from all different disciplines like anthropology, sociology, and management. During this whole module, we'll explore some classic methods, and throughout this course we will. So I also want you to challenge yourself to discover new and create new methods as you work on your projects. The IDEO Human-Centered Design Field Guide has a lot of different methods that you can look at. In this module, we'll be covering journey maps, interviewing, and observing. And those are things that you'll come to know very well and become really skilled at over the course of your career as an innovator. So observing, it sounds simple enough. I'd like you to go to this link and watch this video called Monkey Business. Watch it all the way through. It's a few minutes long. And then reflect on what you may or may not learn about observing when you look at this video. All right, welcome back. Hopefully that video taught you a few things about what it means to observe. That attention matters. Sometimes if you're really focused on one detail or one goal in your observing, you may miss something else. That's why sometimes when you go out into the field, say you're observing somebody packing up for a trip, or somebody who is delivering food to an elderly person at home, that you might want to bring two people along to be able to observe, because you'll pick up on different things when you're out there in the field doing your observations. Becoming skilled at observation means you really want to become a skilled listener and skilled at subtle inquiry. Sometimes you're going to observe a process, say a surgery or a healthcare consultation, and then afterwards you might follow up with an interview with that practitioner or nurse or surgeon, and you might want to ask them questions about what you observed to make sure that your observations were the important things in the room. Sometimes a detail might be trivial or not necessary, and we might focus in on that just because we're people and we're curious. So observations and being able to do thoughtful inquiry through interviews with people are going to be two of the big skills that you're going to use to be able to understand people. So I want you to practice. So what I want you to do is, observe someone making a meal, or have a couple of people observe you when you're making a meal. It can be simple. It can be a sandwich. It can be a more elaborate meal if you want. But make your job observing, or have people observe you and then have them reflect that back to you in terms of a discussion or conversation. So ask yourself 4 questions after the meal was made. What was it like? What was the experience like? Was it fun? Was it stressful? Is it something you would want to do all the time? Is it something you've never made before? Look at what went well and what went wrong. Were there any mistakes you had to recover from? Really good chefs can improvise sometimes, but sometimes people like to just follow the recipe. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all of those steps. And then, at the end, how did it taste? Did everybody finish their meal? So just do that very simply, either on your own by observing yourself or with friends. So that's the beginning of this module. The things to keep in mind as we continue with Module 4, Understanding People, is to think about really honing your observation skills and thinking about what it means to be in listening mode and thoughtful inquiring mode.